So I picked up a new tool today. I found this thing on Facebook Marketplace. It appears to be some kind of turn-of-the-century bench grinder or buffer, something. It's old, it's heavy, it's cool. I wanted it. I don't know what I need it for, but I figured I could make it nice again. The person I bought it from said they never hooked it up before. They said it was 3-phase, they bought it at an auction, blah, blah, blah. So this thing's kind of a mystery. There are no markings on it whatsoever, aside from the motor, on the maker of the actual pedestal grinder itself. There is one plate down here, and I took a wire wheel to it, and it says M5. I don't know what M5 means, but it says it. But this thing is absolutely rock solid and awesome. So this motor sitting on the back here, the seller said it was a 3-phase motor. I don't think they read the plate, because the plate says it's a 2 horsepower single phase 115 230. It's a General Electric motor, and you know, honestly, it doesn't seem like it's in that bad of a shape. It spins freely. There's a lot of resistance in this because it's hooked up to this, but the motor spins freely. And when I had the pulley off, or when I had the belts off, spun the pulley, the bearings seemed fine. Didn't seem like there was much going on. And honestly, there's almost no rust on this thing. This whole thing, for as old as it is, and it was in a barn, is really clean. It's really nice. So somebody at some point took this flat belt drive, made this janky mount. But look at this thing. Just floating off the edge like that. Nothing to support it, hanging out in the breeze. But apparently it worked, because it really looks like this thing has had some serious use. And honestly, it still spins. I took one of these off. The oil is still decent. You know, honestly, they said they never hooked it up. I can kind of see why. You come down here, look at the switch. Yeah, I wouldn't want to plug that in either. But it's a terrifying tool. You know, it's absolutely terrifying. This arbor, it's got an 1.25 inch arbor on this thing. It looks like we had what looks to be some kind of oiler caps that have been broken off. This one's broken off. This one gone entirely. I'd have to fabricate a new one. But it looks great. I mean, I like it. I figured, worst case scenario, I get the base from it. Put the base on something else. I mean, the thing weighs an absolute ton. To take it in the truck, to get it back to my shop, we had to break it into 3 parts. We took the motor off, we took the mount off, we took the actual assembly off of the pedestal, and I went ahead, because I figured I wasn't going to be trying to turn this thing on. Just cut the wires. I didn't bother to open that up to unhook anything. Got it back to the shop. I kind of reassembled it real roughly just to show how it looks. Show how it looked when I got it. And so I think it'll be a fun restoration. I just right now I'm finishing up the restoration of this joiner here, and this thing was in pretty sorry shape when I got it. It was just completely rusted out. It looked like it had been in a flood. The motor was completely seized up. I rebuilt the motor, new bearings all around, new blades, everything has been taken apart, de-rusted and evaporust, repainted. I haven't polished the beds yet. I did a little rough removal of the rust, but I haven't really gotten to it. Fabricated a new emergency stop switch for it that'll mount on the side, but I can't wait. But now that that's done, I need something else to fill all the time that I don't have, and I think this thing might be the ticket. So we're gonna see what happens. We'll see how nice we can make this thing, and see if we can make it, I don't know, safe and work. And it might work fine. Looks like it's had a lot of use. It looks like it's had actual use relatively recently. The motor is from 1957. The body of this thing, honestly, I can't find a single maker's mark, no evidence online. I haven't seen another one that looks quite like this, but I want to say it has to be the early part of the 20th century. So, quite an old piece of iron. And when I got it, it had these little guards. Looked like they were just made out of an old bucket. And those were just kind of roughly bolted on. I don't think they'd be effective whatsoever. Maybe to keep the keep it from spitting stuff everywhere. But other than that, this thing is going to be quite the project. I'm excited. So, stay tuned and see what happens.